I would like to share some very, very important tips how to improve your dancing, especially for the backward and sideways walks. Let's get started. Okay, so when we're going backward, what happens? Let's take like the most common mistakes. So mostly people treat backward walk the same as a forward. So they take their spine and then the foot lands, which only good for the forward, but it's not very good idea for the backward. So what should we do instead? First of all, get into the very beautiful position. Tummy in, chest up, knee back. So we're ready to dance. Second, as we extend our leg back, we're gonna actually shift our spine slightly forward. And that's allow us to send this leg back with the hip up, slightly up. So instead of spine then leg, we are gonna do tummy in, chest up, slightly actually take our spine forward, then sending our leg with a little bit hip back. Now from here, this hip actually will guide your backward walk with the resistance of the spine. So instead of like when you're going forward, the spine actually guiding your step. Here, it's your leg and hip. This area will guide your step backward. So tummy in, chest up to prepare. Drift your spine slightly forward. Send this leg back using that hip, lifting the hip so you will have a little bit lift. And then from here, keep lifting, like imagine like somebody pulling that hip back, and that will take you to the backward walk. So one more time. Of course, you have to be prepared. Do not try to dance in this position. Always prepared. Tummy in, chest up. Drift your spine forward slightly. Send your leg back with a slight hip, and hip take you back. Okay, once you land this heel, here start the most interesting things. Most of common mistake here, people rotate that hip as they do pendulum and release that knee too soon. What we try to do is actually using that foot on the floor as a ball of the foot, not toe, ball of the foot, and push from that ball of the foot into that diagonal pendulum hip. Press, 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 press. And once you cannot go more, that's where you, at the very end, you release that knee. So one more time. So first we have to prepare tummy in, chest up, knee back, drift your spine forward, let the leg being led by the hip. As you land gradually, here, develop that line from the foot into that hip. And. So there is a sense of two straight legs, longer, using that ball of the foot, not the toe, ball of the foot, to press into that hip, and only then releasing the leg. And here we'll have a little bit slight feeling of collection. And here process repeat. So you send your leg back with a slight lifting of the hip, gradually land, and from here, spend time for a little bit to keep pressing from that front leg into diagonal pendulum before you go for the next step. Warm. And walk. And let's do exactly the same from another angle so you can see it more clearly. So here, first of all, of course, remember, prepare first. Tummy in, chest up, knee back. What it means knee back? Basically one knee is bent, one knee is straight. So press this knee back so you have a little bit more feeling of the straightening of the leg, like locked leg. Now from here, spine slightly drift forward as you're sending this leg back. So you want to have that tilting position forward, never backward. Okay, as this hip back, you gradually land. And now from here, you have that feeling of the stretch, pushing from your foot and stretching into that hip. And and release your leg at the very last moment. And 2 and 3 and So if we break it into the timing, so on count 2, you'll send your leg. On count and, you're gonna press from this front leg into that hip as you do that squeezing, melting feeling. And only on count you release that knee. Instead of you going back to So that happens a little bit too soon. If you're going the correct way, 2 and 3 and 4 1 and where the forward concept is slightly different. Here you on the forward, you're more focusing on the drifting of the spine and releasing of your body weight into a standing leg. So slightly different concept, slightly different feeling. So try this technique of the backward walk. And if you want to learn more, welcome to join my online learning platform where you find courses, programs, answers to all your questions, some awesome exercises, and see you in the next lesson.